This is Messages from the Universe with Laurie Wondra of Your Life Core. Here, Laurie delivers information from the Mastery Realms related to astrology, planetary influences, energy surges, and generally how we are evolving. She connects with angels, guides, ascended masters, astro beings, and those that come forward with messages to help us on our journey. Welcome, everyone, to Messages from the Universe podcast.
Hello, I am Laurie Wondra, and thank you for listening. Messages from birds. As humans, we learn from other humans like us. We learn from history, or in the present time, from family, from friends and neighbors. We are taught to study our past to help us direct us into our future, or to learn how to approach the future. All value lessons and learnings, but we forget the lessons of nature, or we aren't aware that nature also is our greatest teacher. What the clouds, water, trees, or birds can teach us. How we can navigate life, have softer landings, and better takeoffs. As humans, the way we fly is in an airplane. We can't physically fly unless we are in an airplane, a hot air balloon or a glider. As a child, I often dreamed of flying and often wished to soar like an eagle, to gain that bird's eye view, to use the element of wind and glide for either play or for purpose. And growing up, I was often taught that birds bring us messages, like the woodpecker. The spiritual meaning of woodpecker is related to creativity, wisdom, communication, determination, protection, perseverance, strength, progress, kindness, happiness, hope, and renewal of power. The woodpecker is seen as a symbol of the essence of life and nature's heartbeat by many of the tribes of Native America. The woodpecker also shows a strong devotion and love for one's family and friends and loved ones. The woodpecker can turn dead trees into something remarkable, almost like art form, which signifies resilience and opportunity and the beauty in challenge or change. And growing up, my parents would say, listen to the woodpecker. Or the cardinal. When you see a cardinal, take note of the people in your life. It's a loved one that's sending you a message from beyond, reassuring you that they are there with you. Cardinals can also suggest it's time to open your heart and ramp up your social life. You may be missing out on time with friends. Pay attention to your social life. Be bright like the cardinal. And again, the cardinal reminds us of those that have crossed over, but that are still with us, letting us know they're all right, they love us, and they still are with us each day. And the bluebird has a spiritual meaning of joy, happiness, peace, and contentment, and may also be a sign that a loved one from the heavens, an angel, or one of the spiritual messengers has a message for us. The bluebird is a symbol of hope and harmony and renewal and growth and transformation. And seeing a bluebird may mean good luck, fulfillment, and prosperity. I grew up where my dad didn't like the swallows because they would build their muddy nests in the barn or outside in the house spaces where he didn't want them. But in spiritual terms, the swallow represents fertility, the rays of sunshine, protection, especially around the home, and the message that a conflict may soon be resolved and a peaceful, happy lifestyle is there and in your grasp. We can learn a lot from birds. In fact, there's 10,000 to 11,000 species of birds around the planet. And some of the messages that I have learned from them and just observing and being with them is one, to be present. Birds are very aware of their surroundings. They proceed with caution in any environment. They seem to sense danger and know what is safe and what is not safe. Be like a bird in the way that you appreciate life as it is, things as they are, and to go to new highs or places for new discoveries. Trust when it's time to go. You will know to leave, to go. Always learn to seize the moment and be in it. Be present. Be where your feet are. Be where you are now. Be aware of what you have now. Be aware of who you have around you and who you are now when you are around those that are near you. Notice when you're ready and then go. Take off and fly. Be confident. Birds rely on their wings to lift them up to new places and new adventures. If something upsets them, then they go to another place and they land and they see or they look out upon the world. They trust themselves that they can take off in the sky. They can leave, they can land, they can fly. This reminds us to dig deep, find what motivates us, what's within your limits and abilities, and then go out there and get after it. True freedom and power comes from knowing yourself and aligning your life with what you aim for. Trust and have faith in your abilities and know that you will find those skills that you need when you need them. And don't let fear prevent you from flying or landing somewhere that's maybe not familiar and then flying again. Birds show up and teach us to be visible. Show up for what calls you, your family, your friends, your mission. Like a bird visible in the sky. Show up during good times. Celebrate with your loved ones. Be there also during tough times or bad times. Stick together and don't let negativity and toxicity spread like disease between each of you. Let those loved ones around you know that you are there. Be visible for them. And 4, remember your values. Birds behave the same way. They eat the same things. They teach their young ones to do the same things that they do. And like birds' migration that follows the same route, you and your family and friends, your teams, the people that you're in the workplace, all have common ground. You have a common mission, and stay committed to that common ground. Stay committed to your purpose, your core values, those things that support. Pay attention to what you've been taught and pass that on to those that you are responsible to teach. Birds also remind us to let go of junk. When things get bad, learn to let go of the branches. Move on. Free yourself from things that are not right from you. A bird is not afraid of landing on a branch and breaking that branch because he trusts his wings and his ability to fly to another branch. Come in from the rain or from the storm. Fly to a higher branch to get a better view. Don't linger where you don't need to put your energy. Fly on. Trust the universe will support you. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Birds teach us to build a stronger home. A strong home is the physical one that holds you and your family and your friends. It provides that place, that safe haven, a place for you to land, a place you feel safe, secure, and protected, a place that you can rest. Your home is also your community, the family or the friends. It's where you feel comfortable and secure with your emotions, your beliefs, and your energy. And when you have a strong home, you'll know it's a place you can always return no matter where you are. And birds, well, they teach us to sing. Learn to sing. Learn to use your voice. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just sing when you're happy or you're grateful or you're satisfied with your current situation. Include others. Encourage others to sing. Spread that happiness. Think how good it feels when you hear a flock of birds singing. They radiate positive energy. You also have that vibrancy. Use your voice. Trust what you have to say is important. There are those that do really want to hear you talk or sing, and they will listen because you matter. What you have to say matters, and when you sing, chances are they'll want to sing with you. And birds teach us to eat mindfully. Birds eat small amounts many times during the day. They're very resourceful. They seek what they can get. They search. And they never stay stuck with what they can't get. They eat with the season. They eat light so that they can be mobile and they can provide for their family, but they keep their energy at a consistent level. They don't store up or worry about what might not be available. You don't have to eat until you're full, stuffed, or save your energy for movement at a later time or other tasks in your life. You can balance your energy. Create the practices in your life that create consistency and be where you are. Be happy with what's in front of you and stop wasting energy searching for something that isn't there. And 9, stay focused. Birds are very focused. Think about when birds migrate or they are on task of, let's say, building their nest. They remain focused. For humans, remember why you started something or what is the finished expectation. It's easy to get distracted or caught up in short-term problems. Make adjustments, change your strategy, be flexible and light-minded, but be focused on your goal. If you need to take a break, do so, but come back and finish. When you complete your goal, it's satisfaction and your energy will be released and you can focus on something else. And birds teach us to recognize the efforts of others. Birds encourage each other. They empower others to fly faster and better. As a human gives people the recognition that they deserve, sing their praise. Recognize those that have done a job well done, or thank those that have helped you. Protect those that aren't able to protect themselves. I think of the small birds chasing away a hawk or an eagle so that the nest stays protected. Acknowledge all contributions, no matter how small or how big they are. Notice your family, your friends, your coworkers, and their contributions. This is the foundation for happiness and prosperity in all parts of society, is when we recognize and we uplift, and most important, we support those around us. Birds remind us to let our colors shine. Different birds have different colors, and they show us their diversity in their size, their shape, and of course their color. They remind us to show our colors, to be proud of who we are no matter the size, the shape, or the color we might be. Be bright. Make sure you aren't hiding what makes you one of a kind, and celebrate others and their diversity and the things that make them one of a kind. And birds teach us to show up early and often. We've heard the saying, the early bird gets the worm. If you've had the opportunity to sleep with the windows open in a tropical location, you will hear the birds begin to sing before the sun is up. They remind us to rise early. Find something, anything, even if it's just breathing in the air of a new day. It's worth rising and showing up for and being excited for. And birds teach us to go with the seasons. Birds thrive despite the changes in the environment. They hunker down when it's stormy, it rains hard, or snows. They migrate with the seasons, flying thousands of miles to follow the weather patterns. They remind us to notice our seasons, to be fluid and go with the flow, trusting our ability that we will always find shelter and a branch to land on, and to honor what season we're in, whether we're in youth, young adult, middle age, or approaching the elder years of our life. Honor where you are and trust that you'll find shelter and a branch to land on. Birds teach us to spread our wings and fly. Eventually, all birds must leave the safety of the nest and become what they are meant to be. They move to the edge of their nest, and without fear, they drop and fly off. They remind us that there are times in our life where we have to leave the nest without fear of falling. We might need to leave a job, a relationship, or even leaving a home. We just have to leap and start flapping and trust that we'll take off. Birds flock together. They know they're stronger in numbers. Birds seek strength and sustenance from one another. They can fend off predators, seek safe haven with food and shelter. They can motivate each other and know that somewhere amongst the flock, they are in the perfect spot. They remind us to keep friends and family close by as you navigate the days. Find that place where you know you are in the perfect place to be supported, motivated, or just having people around you that are at your pace. Wildlife scientists who have studied birds and flocks have learned fascinating facts about why migratory birds fly in a V formation. Some of what they have learned can actually teach us a few things about teamwork and how we fly and navigate through life. We can fly farther and more efficiently together than we can alone. By flying together in a V formation, scientists estimate that a flock of birds can fly about 70% farther with the same amount of energy than if each bird flew alone. Birds have learned that they can reach their destinations more quickly with less energy expended when they fly together in formation. The same is true for teams and humans. Teams that share a common direction or a common goal or vibrate at a same frequency will get to their destination quicker and with less effort and working together versus as a collection of individuals doing everything on their own. The flock teaches us it's important for everyone to be able to see where we're going. Why do geese fly in a V formation versus in single file? Well, one reason is that flying in that V formation increases the visibility. So no matter where you are in the order, every bird or every goose in the flock can see what's happening in front of them. No one wants to fly blindly. Teams don't work very well if it's just the leader who's looking forward and everyone else is just gazing at the backside of the bird ahead of them. So when working as a team, make sure everyone sees the big picture and is able to see clearly where you're going. And we know it requires a great deal more effort and energy to fly alone than it does to fly together. When a bird falls out of formation, it suddenly realizes that there's a lot more drag and air resistance flying alone than when they were part of the flock. They quickly flap back into formation, having discovered that the extra energy needed to fly alone just wasn't worth it. Sometimes people playing on teams will drop out of a group and try to accomplish goals on their own. And like birds, however, they usually discover that it works better to be part of a cohesive team rather than trying to fly alone. Everyone's job is easier when we respect the formation. So the leader sets the pace for the whole flock. Fly too fast and the flock will tire out. Fly too slow and the flock as a whole creates less lift and it takes needless more time and effort to reach their destination. When going long distances, birds in a flock will take turns flying point position. Also, the birds in the front create this forward draft that allows everyone else behind them to fly with a little bit less effort. And at the same time, the birds in the middle and the back actually help the ones in the front by creating this upward draft that propels the whole flock forward with less effort. The net effect is that even though the geese at the front don't have the benefit of flying in the draft of the birds ahead of them, their job is easier if the entire flock is flying as one unit behind them. So in human terms, if everyone is keeping pace and flying in formation, everyone's job is easier. Followership is sometimes just as important as leadership. Everyone has an important role to play in keeping the team working cohesively. No matter where you are important. And of course, honking is helpful. Have you ever wondered why geese honk when they fly in formation, but not when they fly alone? Honking is how they push and urge and motivate each other during those long flights. Similarly, when you're working on teams, it's important for each team member to communicate regularly with others. Use your voice, encourage one another. Teams frequently fall apart because of inadequate communication. Constant and helpful communication is important to keep moving effectively towards a common goal. And this doesn't apply just in teams. It applies in friendships and families. Communication is important. It's not just to talk, but to be intentful with what you're communicating. And keep flying tireless until you reach your destination. Don't give up. Migrating flocks take on arduous journey that can stretch to a round trip distance of several thousand miles. It's an effort that tests both their physical and their mental capabilities. They encounter multiple hazards along the way, physical stresses, food shortages, bad weather, predators, yet they are relentless in their quest to reach their destination. And when a team is working towards a goal, reaching the destination is rarely easy. You're going to run up against challenges along the way. But when the going gets tough, fly tireless, stay motivated, stay in formation to improve the likelihood that you will reach your goal. And geese watch out for one another. If one goose falls, other geese will break away from the flock, land with that goose, and stay with it until they can fly again. They remind us that sometimes we as humans, we need to pause to help others. We need to help them and stay with them until they are healed and can get back with the flock. Don't leave them behind. Watch, support, protect until they can get back up and fly again. And individual birds sometimes come and go from a flock, but if the flock itself becomes scattered, and isn't able to get back together, it will never reach its destination. If they can't find another flock, individual birds may end up becoming stranded. They don't make it to their destination. They don't find their way home either. They end up living in the middle of nowhere. Be a leader. Be part of a flock. You are alert to where the flock might need you to focus your energy. Maybe it's to help someone along. And again, there are approximately 10 to 11,000 species of birds in the world. Be curious of those that come to deliver a message. Be curious as to the behaviors of what nature and what birds can teach. Those that bring messages to you, they might remind you of where you are and actions that you need to take. Be more like a bird. Allow them to teach us and allow yourself to learn from these winged creatures. They remind us to find our soul and the love that we are and soar into life each and every day on the winds of the sky. The hummingbird reminds us to be flexible with the twists and turns in your life. You may need to add more emotional sweetness into your life. You might be going through some very heart-opening kinds of experiences, and so by doing so naturally, you're going to draw more love to you. So openly express love. Be light. Be loving. Be more colorful and bring more color into your life. Doves express love. Doves mate for life. The soul of someone that is connected to the soul of another. The soul of a dove remains smooth and peaceful and joyous. This is a powerful time. It might mean prophecy and clear vision. And now more than ever, you might be able to glimpse into the future. This also might mean it's a time of spiritual renewal for you, where you're at the end of one time frame of challenges, and it's a time to allow nurturing. It also could be a message from someone that's recently passed, letting you know that they are safe and secure. And the blue jay, well, blue jays, they can tend to be loud and noisy. So that might mean that you've got some noise or distraction or something that's around you that might be deceiving you or taking you away from what you need to focus on. And a blue jay is also about investing more time in your development and exploration of your own spiritual and metaphysical arena. Choose a path and explore it. Be bold in an area that you might be fearful. Assess your main gifts and talents and use them. And a yellow finch, well, the spiritual meaning of the yellow finch is typically associated with happiness and joy and new beginnings. Symbolically, the yellow finch can remind us to enjoy life's simple pleasures and to take time to celebrate the new things, the new happenings in our lives. And a yellow finch represents abundance and success. It's a great sign if you're feeling that there's a lack of finances or a lack of love or a lack of something in your life. The message of a yellow finch is that this is temporary and there will be days ahead that are full of abundance, whether that be financial or emotional or those things that you feel are in deficit now. I could continue on and on about the variations in birds and their messages that they bring, but the biggest joy that they can bring to us or teach us is to be seen, be bold, be colorful, use our voices, be flexible, don't be afraid to take flight and try new things, and know that your flock is out there. Sometimes you just need to find or search a little bit more. I want to thank you for listening. I'm Laurie Wondra, and I'm sending the energy of peace and love and joy out to all of you.
Thank you for listening to Messages from the Universe podcast with Laurie Wondra of Your Life Core. For current events or to schedule a private session with Laurie, please visit yourlifecore.com.